Today we are starting the day with a bang. We are spending the day with the Kenyan billionaire.
African women who know themselves are very strong. An African woman can be very strong. Those who know how to remain strong and remain focused and still maintain their womanhood.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited. Today we are starting the day with a bang. We are spending the day with the Kenyan billionaire. This lady deserves to be celebrated. She is a queen, she is a businesswoman, she is a philanthropist, she's a teacher. She's sugar spice and everything nice. I'm so excited. Come with me. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Sit down.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to see you too.
Thank you so much for making time. I am Trudy. I am a content creator. What we do and what we love to do on this channel is to celebrate women like you who are doing amazing things in the continent and in Kenya. And that's why I can't wait for the world to hear your story, because I know you're going to inspire so many people.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to have you here. It had been, when you came to visit me, I really felt encouraged that even young girls like you are starting to do things, and that is what we want. When you start that area, you go far. As for me, I started a bit late, but I thank God at least even having started late, I am where I am today. So that's why I tell young people and young women that it is never too late to start something.
So, who is Lizze Wanyoike? How would you define yourself?
Sometimes it's very difficult to define yourself because people know you better. You know, for me, I even get surprised when people tell me of the things I've done, at the level I've gone. Because for me, I'm just being natural. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And again, I only want to do things that will please God and also please help the people or be able to uplift the lives of people. And at times it doesn't matter what age, even older people need some encouragement, especially during this time with the corona. People have really gone down. So I cannot, that is something I'm not able to answer. But all I know is my heart wants to do good. Of course, it may not be possible because nobody is perfect in this world. But I try and I pray to God that let me do something that will make me feel, yes, God, I am happy you created me.
Okay, where does your story start? Are you from a rich family?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, we could have. My dad went to school those old days, and he passed on some years back at the age of 26 when he was still very active. We grew up in a village in very, very poor conditions. Sometimes we would go without lunch, lunch mostly because when you went to school and you didn't carry any food, so you have to wait until in the evening when you can have dinner. And our dinner normally was the same traditional food, that is githeri. Githeri is maize and beans mixed together. And sometimes not even fried, you just put on some food, some salt on it. And also life in school was not that comfortable. I was very happy when I managed to leave the village and get into a high school, that was Kahumia Girls. So because that's when I learned there are other people maybe the same, living under the same conditions as we were living back home. After that, I went to another institution where I did secretarial for 1 year. And my wish was to become a teacher, and I had requested God I wouldn't want to be a primary school teacher. I didn't like primary school teachers because they used to be very strict on us. They used to beat us, especially me, because I used to suck my thumb like this and in class. So I would be beaten up and sometimes told to go out and stay out there.
So from living in the village, you used to till your land?
Yes.
And you used to eat githeri every day?
Every day.
Wow. And
Yes.
You went to high school and now you are in the university,
Yes.
wanting to be a teacher.
Yeah, now, yes, I did. I still went to the higher level. Those days there was up to Form 4 and then up to Form 6. So when I went into my Form 6, I did secretarial. Then from there, I went to the Kenyatta College training to be trained as a teacher, a high school teacher. That was the progression.
So your goal was to be a teacher?
Yes, a high school teacher. I used to emphasize a high school teacher.
Why
not a
did you
primary.
want to be a teacher? Because you have people wanting to be nurses, doctors, pilots, judges, lawyers.
Up to today, I can't tell why I wanted to be a teacher. But maybe it was the encouragement of my dad. Because my dad, I know those days they didn't need much education, so long as you can speak English and can write. They were made teachers from the ground. So I really wanted to be like my dad because I loved my dad so much. So that's why I became a teacher. He was my role model. And I role modeled him in almost everything, how he works with people, how he treats people. So that is why now, that's where I completed my schooling.
Okay,
Yeah.
So now you finished schooling, you're now a teacher.
Yes.
How did you get from being a teacher to owning schools, hotels? Where would you say was your turning point?
When I was a teacher, I realized that I loved teaching. And before I started teaching, I also got married. And I got married at a very young age. It was straight from college. I didn't even go home.
Wow.
One of the reasons is I did not want to go back to the village to start eating
Githeri every day.
every day. So somehow God had my prayers, and when I finished college, I had met this nice gentleman. So when he told me to go and visit his place, I just went, and that's how I got married. There were no plans. There was no request.
So it was
There
come
was
and stay,
nothing.
basically.
Me, it was come and stay. And after that, so I started now taking care of kids and also now teaching. I went to teach. I taught in a high school. Then I dropped and taught in a college. A college that was a secretarial training college. Those days, in our days, most of those colleges were training students from East Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, and some of them from Sudan. I don't know how they are not many. There were not many. I got to be even more exposed because when you are training students from other countries, you learn their behavior, and we became very close friends with them. I was always making good relationships with my students because I was good to them. They were passing very well. In fact, I was one of the best teachers in that college, and so that's where eventually me and my husband and I we bought that school, that college, because the owner was a European, was from UK. So she decided she wanted to go home.
So from being a teacher in the college to owning the school?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we owned that school, me and my husband, but I had small shares in it. When you buy a company, the shares, you own 3/4, I owned 1/4. Which was okay with me because I'm the one who was managing, because I was the one who was qualified, and it did very, very well. But within that time, a period of time, you see people sometimes when you are getting married, we had not dated, so he did not know me very well. I did not know him very well. So within that years, we were good with each other because I was married for 26 years.
Wow, that's
So
long.
yeah, we really actually, I can say we tolerated each other very much because we didn't have anything in common. He was more mature than I was. There was a gap, an age gap. So maybe I was being childish and maybe he was being too mature because I used to see him like my dad. But things did not work out. But after many years, so we separated. So when we separated, I was left alone and he took the college. He the one who took over the whole college. I was left with nothing.
Oh, wow.
But I had saved some money within this time because he was doing everything, so I had saved some money. Then with that money is the time now I didn't know what to do. Number one, I did not want to go back to the village. I didn't have a home. I didn't know where to stay. So
you were starting from scratch.
now I'm starting from scratch. I went back to the hostel and started again. And that's the time I really prayed to God to. I was apologizing, I don't know for what, because I didn't want God to hear me and to listen to me. And I was telling him, God, you removed me from the village. You have made me change lives. Can you also give me another chance? And when you give me this chance, I'll work for you. You know, those promises, you see, I'll give better education, I'll give quality education, I'll do everything, I'll even help people, I'll do all these things. I promised him all those things. And within a very short time, I found that I had already now found people who came together. We started the NIBS college. That time we called it the Institute of Business Studies, and we started it just like that. And within a very short time, it picked up.
So when you say you started it was a group of people who came together and decided, let's start a school.
No. These were my friends who were already working. The ideas were mine, but I brought, now I was asking, you cannot register a company alone. You need to have some people there. But one of them was my sister, and one of them was the one who was to do the renovations, and me, and then some other people who are my friends in high school. So it was like just they are now coming to assist me because now I'm in trouble, and I used also to help them when I was okay. Because when those 26 years I was okay, I didn't lack anything. I went through a lot of problems because wherever I went within the ministry, people would start asking me questions. I think some people had tried to block me from registering.
From registering the school?
The school,
Are these people who you knew, or
yeah,
is
those
it the
people
government?
I knew, the people I knew who did not want me to continue, because I had left this other school, and some people did not want me to move on. So it took me long to be able to register a lot of prayers and a lot of reading and pleading.
What kept you going? Why did you not give up and say, I'm done with this?
I couldn't give up because sometimes you can ask yourself, you should ask yourself, if I'm giving up, what next? If you give up, people will just watch you go down. And you have all the potential you have all the knowledge and education you want, people will start laughing at you. Because back home, my parents would have taken me, and taken me on. But in life, giving up should be the last option. So long as what you have in heart is something that will benefit other people. When you think about other people, they are also praying for you. If you just think about yourself, people will just see you as a person and not want to, even to help you. So I had so many people around me because I had also made friends with the people. I had helped people, get jobs. So I had helped many people also get jobs. So I was, I can say, kind of, people liked me. And also we had gone to the villages and I knew people from the village. So very few people were hoping that I would not wake up. but majority were very sad. And so because what happened is when I started this, when it started working, the school was opened. I used to use my own photo to advertise, put it in the newspaper so that people can see me. Why was I doing that? Because I didn't have anything to hide. Where I was teaching, I was good with the students, I was good with the parents. I was doing things in a very, like we know each other. Nobody was a stranger to me. If a parent came, wanted an extension of fees, I would give. So when I put my photograph there, and that's goodwill, people were very excited but worried that is she going to get back into where she was. But with their support, I can say I got back where they would have wanted me to be, because the school did very well. People who had their children in the other college, now the younger ones were all of them being brought to me. So the school picked up, like people, even me, I could not understand.
What do you think made the school pick up?
Because I had so many followers.
Oh, okay.
So many followers. We advertised in the newspaper. People just used to see my photo and say, this is the school we want to take our friends, our relatives. So the school, within 1 year, it had the growth of the same number as other schools, other colleges that had been there for years. So within 2-3 years, I was topped. I even overtook most of the other colleges that were there. So I realized that God has something for me. There is something somewhere He wants to send me, and where He wants to send me is try and continue the good work I was doing, continue mentoring young people, continue encouraging parents, and continue giving quality service to make sure that the students who go through this school will be able to get jobs. I always say, Nibs grew even surprised to myself.
I know, because for someone like me, I'm just living my life. Before I know it, there's Nibs, and Nibs is everywhere. I wonder, where did Nibs come from?
It has that history that that the history of the person who started, and that is me. It was not just about myself. It was about what type of courses do I give these young people, especially now. My other school was girls only. Why I need to bring the men, the young boys who are leaving high school, also they have come and do. So I selected very good programs like accounting, things that were working then. That is year 2000. And by 2002, we had so many students. And some of them were coming in the evenings, and then they would go and join universities just to get their degrees. Degrees those days were very strong. The degrees of those days are not the degrees of today. In fact, these days, most companies are employing diploma holders because of the hard zone. So the school went on and then it stabilized. In fact, we went from a small space to a bigger space to a bigger space until we couldn't fit. The first problem I encountered is where we were in a very high class sort of building, what you call cooperative bank building. It is there at Harisazi Avenue. It's a first class building. That's where I had moved. And I had moved those days when after the bomb blast, remember that bomb blast, people did not even want to go those sites. So I took advantage and got some space, but that space filled up like this. Then the owners of the buildings felt that they don't want this to be a school because of the students. And these students, I can't blame the management. You know what my boys used to do? They're coming from the village. When they're coming from the village, they come, then they get the lift. It has 20 floors up there, 3 or something like that. They would get into the lift, go all the way to the third, and lock themselves in. Somebody will do the smoking there, they will go down there. So the management did not like it. So they wanted to kick me out, but I went to court and I was allowed to finish my lease.
So, apart from Nips College,
Yes.
you have a hotel?
Yeah, that hotel, I had bought a plot. I had bought a house that was there, hoping that I would go and live there because I had lost my home, so I didn't have anywhere to live, to rent out. So, but later on, I realized that I did not want to live in that house, so I changed my mind, and then I decided to, when NIBS grew and we were teaching so many students in hospitality, I decided let me build a hotel here, so that at least I can also be part of creating employment, because that is one of my other partners. I didn't want to create employment.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So talking about creating employment,
Yes.
how many employees do you have so far in Nips and in the hotel?
In the hotel and also the Lizze Wanyoike preparatory. There must
Preparatory
be,
school. Wow.
yeah. So it should be about now almost 500.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Thank you so much for making a difference and
Yes.
creating employment for so many people.
Lizze Wanyoike preparatory, it started in 2021. It's only 1 year old. And the reason I started it is because I had studied the teenagers and the young adolescents who are joining the college. And I have studied their behavior, their character. And I have also investigated from churches and Sunday schools and youth groups that in fact, more than half of the kids, their problems come from home. And, there is very poor parenting. There are in some homes, it's maybe the father or the mother passed on and one parent was left, and maybe that parent is married, and then there is a stepmother or a stepfather. And others are just the fathers, they are in abusive families, the mother is always being beaten up, so they are watching there, and then they want to run away from that, so they start taking drugs. Others are the girls, they hate to get married because they think marriage is just like getting into war. So the parents have a lot of influence. There are those others who come from good families, let's say, not really rich. I can use the word rich, but in let's say families, and the kids become lazy because when my parents die, I will take over. You see, and I want to train these young mothers who are bringing their kids to Lizze Wanyoike preparatory to make their students, that their kids know that this is their wealth, which does not belong to them. But if they also be good students or be good young adults, they will be able to take over because they'll also be responsible. Now, that was the example I said by when I was bringing up my kids. We were very close, we were friends. Even today, we are very good friends. I'm wondering why one of them has not entered here, because they keep on, one who is now almost replacing me. And we were very close. Even today, we are very close. So working together is very easy because we know each other well. I know their weaknesses, they know my weaknesses. And I know, you see, when I'm their boss, they are also watching my weaknesses so that they can oppose. They say, no, we are not going to do that. So I have allowed that free playground for all of us. So with these young mothers, these young parents, most of them, they see the future as they have got money so that they can give their children the best. But they may not be able to give the best to their children. That's the way it is.
So this hotel that you have,
Yes.
It's in Kileleshwa.
In Kileleshwa,
You know,
yes.
Kileleshwa is a high-end place. Can ordinary people afford it?
It is a very ordinary hotel, but very nice. It is not a 5-star hotel, and I normally say it's more or less like a 4-star hotel. And it's very homely. People who come there for conferences or weddings or birthdays, they want to come to introduce their friends to the hotel.
What are your thoughts about African women?
Yes.
African women in leadership?
Yes.
And do you feel like African women are celebrated as much as they should be celebrated?
I can tell you, African women who know themselves are very strong. I'm telling you what an African lady can stand. Not the others, especially the Western countries, won't. And I know there are very strong African women who have gotten big positions in government, even in businesses. Businesses that are run by ladies here in Kenya are doing very well. You have mentioned one of them or two of them. You can see them there.
Yeah.
As I was reading the EY Entrepreneur of the Year, there are Sarah Camp, there's another one. These are they are strong women, but they know how to manage their husbands because they are being strong. I tell you, a woman being strong is not just making your husband feel not wanted or making husband feel weak. A strong woman makes the husband very strong by knowing her place at home. But if you just behave as CEO at home, your husband will feel disadvantaged. An African woman can be very strong. Those who know how to remain strong and remain focused and still maintain their womanhood.
As Africans, what do you think? How would you define an African woman? As a woman like you, what comes to mind when you say African woman?
I have watched African women on many channels all over the world, in African countries, in Western countries, everywhere. And I think if I was told to rate, the African woman is always the stronger one. We can do it so long as we may always remember that you are a woman. If you are married, remember you at home, your husband is the king, not you. If you're not married, remember that everybody is watching you, how you behave, what you do, because you can't help that, but they'll be looking at you. Be a mother, the mother you are supposed to be. Embrace all the young people, all the youth, all everybody, and make them your friends, both men and women.
Guys, I hope you have been enjoying this video. I hope you're so inspired as much as I am. I have just been taking in a lot because this lady has so much wisdom. I'm so humbled to have spent this day with you.
Thank you.
So as we finish up our video, I would like to know, as a woman in a position of power like you, what is one thing you change about Kenya and Africa in general?
As a woman and in Kenya, I have gone all around the country talking to women and telling them that one thing they should not forget is that they are women, we are mothers, and we have husbands. That we can change by knowing that you have the power. You have the power to change things, not the power to change things so that you can be equal to a man. Never. You will never be equal to men. Men will always were created by God at that position. But what we can do is by doing things the right way, trying to do things, trying to listen and listen carefully and be able to change so many things that can be changed if you're in parliament or if you're in a position whereby people are listening to you. We try, the most important thing for a woman is the children. Let's try to be mothers in all ways. So try as much as possible to create that tomorrow world by trying to mentor your kids in whatever stage you are, in whatever position you are, because our youth is our future.
Wow, that is very well said, guys. Begin at Jerusalem, begin at home, with what you have, because these children of today are tomorrow's future. Thank you so much for your time. I have been speaking to Lizze Wanyoike, and it has been such an honor. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, drop a comment. Let me know, what have you learned? What was the most exciting thing we've loved about this interview? And if you want to see more of such videos. Until next time,